All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash.
Yahweh, being the name of the Heavenly Father, Bahashim, meaning in the name of Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, and we'll start pushing that vibration out there, you know, because we need to start pushing the name out there, because you got a lot of these bootleg Israelites that act like they know everything and we want to change up the name in the last days or just refuse to acknowledge it. But we're going to start off with, you know, obviously the things that are going on in the news, because something happened. I believe it was this morning, the clip that the brother posted in the chat with the ICE agent.
Yeah, he shot that Jake. I don't know if it was Jake or not, but I posted it on my page. Basically, he shot him about 6 to 8 times. You know what I'm saying? But that's Esau Edom basically using, you know, these ground troops to, you know, potentially start a civil war. You know, or potentially now Trump is talking about. Real quick, go to ChatGPT and look up the Insurrection Act. Now Trump is talking about moving in the Insurrection Act, which basically is, which we're going to read it, but in a nutshell, it basically is going to provide more troops, you know, to be on the ground. Because ICE ain't nothing but a bunch of thugs, man. They pretty much doing what they want to do, you know. And America, you know, is not looking like your so-called typical America. It's not looking like the home of the free. Or how's it go? The land of the free, the home of the brave. Yeah, it's looking like a third world country.
And America is known for its police brutality.
Yeah.
And you have a bunch of police coming out saying, like, what the fuck is that? That's not police work right there. That's just, you know, that's tyranny.
Yeah, that's, you know?
I mean, the man was clearly I mean, he was trying to resist a little bit, but so what? Just because you resist him, you need to get shot 8 fucking times.
Yeah, it's one verse 10. What can he really do?
Yeah.
But that's the new America, you know. And these different troops that Esau brings in, they gonna be worse than ICE, man. Because a lot of those troops are gonna be foreign troops, and those foreign troops don't give a fuck about Americans. You know, American troops may have some type of compassion on their people. They might say, "Oh, I didn't sign up to do this." You know, they patriots and shit. I didn't sign up to put hell on my own people. But them foreign troops, they gonna want to get all out on you Babylonians, man.
Yep, and you got these now with AI, a lot of these police stations are starting to get the robot dogs. Pretty soon it's gonna be Terminator-like robots. Maybe not necessarily Terminator robots, but Terminator-like robots, man. Okay, Elon Musk did a demonstration the other day with they call it the Optimus robot.
I'm gonna pull this up real quick.
And the robot was dancing and moving along and shit. You know, it don't take very long to put a damn targeting system on that shit and give it a weapon.
I want to show you brothers this real quick. The brother Gabar Awar from Gmsbuffalo Assembly in Rochester posted this in the WhatsApp chat. It's he said Elam robot dogs ready, right? And those look just like those DARPA, I think they was called DARPA, those robot dogs, DARPA or whatever. They look just like that, right? But you gotta read that. We was talking about, well, go ahead.
So like, back when I was going to school for computer science, which was decades ago at this point, one of the my professors like gave us the breakdown on DARPA. They create technology that we don't know about for 30 years. Like he was saying that the internet was actually invented in the 1970s, early 1970s by DARPA, and it was used with different branches of the government, different universities, certain organizations back in the early 1970s, way before there was personal computers, and they used it as a way to communicate in case the Russians nuked America or whatever. But, you know, just a little tidbit. So whatever that brother was showing, that was probably made about 30 years ago. This is the Insurrection Act on ChatGPT, right? And this was actually Google trending a couple days ago because all the shit going on in Minnesota. The Insurrection Act is a set of federal laws that allows the President of the United States to deploy the military, Army, National Guard, etc., inside the U.S. to suppress rebellion, insurrection, or domestic unrest.
Yeah, to suppress rebellion. So basically, what they're saying is that, you know, if he does put that into motion, which Lord willing he does, you know, he's basically saying that the people in what is it, Minnesota, Minneapolis, whatever, they're being rebellious, right? But if you letting a bunch of you're not gonna just let a bunch of motherfuckers whoop your ass and bully you. You're gonna fight back, and that's more than likely what people are doing over there. Because they can just them ICE agents, man, they can just run up on you and pretty much they got the freedom to do what they want to do. So people are gonna naturally fight back. You know,
especially when you see all that they're just dragging people out of their fucking cars and smashing their windows. You know, I mean they're taking it to extreme measures. Like they basically ask you a question, and if you don't give them the answer they want, sometimes even if you give them the answer they want, I've seen videos where people were giving them their ID and they're still yanking them out, saying, "Oh, you got an accent," but yet the ICE agent itself had a Latino accent that was more thicker than the guy who was pulling out the cars, and the guy was like, "You got an accent too. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, Lord willing, this sparks some type of civil war, man, or some type of Lord willing, this brings forth martial law, you know. But it's, you know, let's say hypothetically it doesn't, you know, ICE ain't going nowhere no time soon, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They just got a bunch of funding in the new budget bill.
Yeah, and then I just did a video the other day where they got a bunch of new vehicles coming in with that funding. Go ahead.
It is one of the few exceptions to the Posse Comitatus Act, which normally forbids the military from acting as domestic law enforcement. Number one, what the Insurrection Act does, it gives the president authority to use federal troops when there's an insurrection or rebellion. State authorities cannot or will not enforce the law.
And that's basically what Trump was saying. He was getting on the officials in Minnesota, basically, you know, I forgot exactly what he was saying to them. I don't know if you remember, but he basically was telling them to he was saying that the officials in Minnesota need to calm the people down so ICE can do their job or whatever, or I'm going to sign the Insurrection Act. You know, something to that effect.
Civil rights are being violently obstructed, which civil rights are being violently obstructed by the people, by the ICE agents, right?
They get slaughtered.
Domestic violence makes it impossible to maintain public order. Okay? So basically, what do they call? What's the term they call it? Civil unrest, right? If there's a civil unrest level of civil unrest that a local authority cannot contain or will not contain or get under control, then they can use it. And then they have the legal code on there. Key sections explained. Oh, and this is just different. Well, this is actually pretty. Section 251, state request. The president can send troops if a state governor asks for help. Example, a governor requests federal troops to stop riots. Section 252. So there's a lot of sections in this. Holy shit. Federal enforcement. The president can act without a state request if federal laws are being obstructed. Rebellion makes enforcement impossible. Example, widespread violence preventing federal courts from functioning. Section 253, civil rights protection. The president can use troops if people are being deprived of constitutional rights and states fail to protect them.
And like I said, once that goes into place, it's going to be like mini martial law, and it's going to spread. Because a lot of times what happens when people start protesting in one state, it could spread across, you know, the different states. And then that'll cause, military to go to this state, military to go to that state, and then it could be full out martial law. Get that in 2 Ezra 15, because that's the times we living in.
Okay, just bring this one
Yeah,
little
yeah.
part out. This is historical uses of the Insurrection Act. So this is the time when the few times it was actually used. In 1957, President Eisenhower sent troops to enforce school desegregation in Arkansas. 1960s, used to enforce civil rights laws in the South. In 1894, the Pullman strike, which is Grover Cleveland. I don't know anything about that. In 1967, the Detroit riots. And in 1992, the LA riots, which was the Rodney King. Rodney King riots.
So it has to be a pretty severe.
What you want?
Event.
Second Ezra's?
Yeah, a man shall desire to go into a city. It has to be a pretty severe event for Trump to do that, right? But we coming into the times of, martial law, like that one Edomite said. She said, she was a retired veteran. She said, "This isn't America." Yeah, because your beloved America is getting ready to crumble from the inside out, And then at the end, it's going to be burnt with thermonuclear destruction. There's nothing you can do about it. Go ahead.
This is 2 Ezra 15, and we'll start at 15.
Mm-hmm.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
Yep.
And one people shall stand up and fight against another,
Yep.
and swords in their hands.
And that could be a form of civil war, a race war. Either way it goes, like I said, you just saw that ICE agent, 10 versus 1, pop that dude 6 to 8 times, man.
Mm-hmm. And it started a couple weeks ago when they shot that one
lady,
that one white woman in the face, man.
Yep. So you literally seeing death in the streets right now,
And that was an alphabet person, man. So that was the judgment of the Lord, an alphabet person that adopted a child, man.
Shouldn't even have kids around.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Yeah, like right now, Trump is telling people in Minnesota to stand down. That's a small version of them, because there's a lot of people who obviously don't like Trump, right? They said, we got to wait this orange nigga out. We got a couple more years. We might not be here in a couple more years, man. All right? Go ahead.
And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
And that's martial law right there, because the cities will be blocked off. You'll have checkpoints. All right? And this insurrection act could, like I said, it could form a mini martial law, man. It could turn into a big martial law.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And it could turn into, because like I said, like Yasharon said, ICE just got a big ass budget.
Uh-huh.
All right, and what they do, they get new vehicles. They probably getting new gear. They loading it up, man.
Training people. They're training. I think they're hiring 10,000 and training 10,000 workers or agents, I should say, every 90 days. So by the end of the year, what is that? 40,000 more ICE agents.
I wanted to read this. The brother Gabar War posted it. 2 Ezra 16 and 16 in the GNT. There will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control, while ignoring the legitimate government. Mm-hmm. All right. Sometimes those different translations put it in different words. Right. There shall be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. All right, and the brother said Fed versus state.
Mm-hmm.
So, in Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, we keep seeing more of this turmoil, because it's going to lead to, bigger issues that has to take place. And you fucking Israelites out there, you still sound asleep.
Oh, as soon as the weather gets warm, maybe not now because it's fucking below freezing, but as soon as the weather gets warm, let one of them shootings happen, okay? when the weather gets warm in a different city, and IUIC will be out there protesting. Chief Ephraim will be out there fucking protesting. You know, just dumb shit, man. Isn't this?
So I keep going in that.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
And that's the thing. People are still in a state of pride right now. A lot of people are still in the state of being proud, even though you're being oppressed, even though your government is all fucked up, even though America's in the worst situation possible. You still got people walking around proud to be an American, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, these people are not in the right state of mind. All right, and the Lord is still using His prophets to blow the trumpet to fish for the elect and wake brothers up.
Yeah, they think that they still have some kind of power as long as they organize and come together. We'll see when the devil fully takes out his horns, man.
Yeah,
you see what they did to fucking Venezuela.
Yeah, if he could go into another country and overtake that, he's not gonna have a problem with you citizens, man. Y'all think y'all gonna turn on the government? They'll fucking drop a bomb on your ass, man.
All that shit came out that they were using psychic weapons that nobody ever seen before. 20 guys took out 300, and not a single one of them got taken out, man.
Mm-hmm.
They said, what do they say, that they're felt like their brains were about to explode. They were fucking bleeding out their nose and throwing up and shit.
Yep, that's that weaponry that Esau Edom has. He was blessed with the sword, right? He was blessed with the sword, and he's going to use that sword. He's got many weapons that we didn't see, or that the other militaries didn't see possibly. You can keep going a little bit.
Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what happens when there's societal breakdown, man. Okay? It's because, they may not be able to control each area at once, or they might just be focused on one area, and then let the people divide and conquer, make each other weak, man. That's really what the elites have stated, that they're going to let the insects kill the other insects and make them weak, because then they could just come in and mop it up real quick, man, without a struggle, without a single struggle, man.
I want to show this real quick. All right, well.
Oh, my.
Back camera don't work?
No, it does. But I got the shield there. I'll try it.
Correct location at the correct time posted today. We verified that much. We want to show you, and there's other videos that show the same person at the same time. So that's why we feel like this is authenticated and we're able to air it right now. We're going to pause it right before the shot of this man going limp, but we're going to watch it several times here and show you exactly what we're seeing on this video. This video starts with federal agents trying to detain a man who's in like a khaki-colored sort of jacket.
Slide that table out, Yash.
The man can be seen when we re-rack this, you'll see it. The man can be seen on his knees on the ground with two agents on top of him trying to detain him. It's unclear if these agents know this man is armed. It's unclear if the man threatened them in any way. We don't know any of that. What I can tell you is that these agents are aggressively on top of this man, and a third, what appears to be an agent, with a tan-colored coat and jeans, we're going to keep watching this, walks over to the scene. Watch this guy with the coat on here. He has nothing, it doesn't appear he has anything in his hand until he reaches down and tries to help detain this guy. There are clear, more zoomed in videos where I can tell you that right here, that person walks away with a gun in his right hand, which would be on the left side of the screen. That person in that tan jacket spins away with a gun in his right hand with closer imaging that you can see. Is it the man in the ground's gun? Unclear. You don't know whose it is. But it is at that point when it freezes is when we hear the gunshot. Okay? And we don't know where, right here. We know there's a gun in the hand of that man right there. Again, is it the person on the ground's gun? Unclear. Is it an agent's gun? Unclear. But this moment right here is when a shot is fired. The person shooting the video then swears and says, "Oh my, they just shot him."
They was whooping his ass. They was jumping him,
hitting him in the head with
the
pistol.
Yeah, hitting him in the head, jacking him up, man. Salakia brothers, hold on. Jacking him up, pretty much being thugs. That dude ain't have a chance, man.
Mm-hmm.
But they was jacking his ass up, and that's Esau, man.
And then the people on the comments, the rednecks, say he was resisting.
Oh, this is a different angle right
If
here.
you live in a New York zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years, listen.
This angle is more exclusive. Oh, this.
Go.
See, it's a bunch of chaos in the streets, man. It's a bunch of chaos in the streets.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Look, they're bullies, man. They're bullies. Spraying people in the face.
People, what is wrong with you? Honestly.
And they're allowed to do this, man. Boom, boom. Yep.
What the fuck did you just do? What the?
She said, "What the fuck did you just do? What did it look like? You fucking got shot."
And then the woman screaming.
Yeah, did the woman start
The
screaming?
tough woman screaming.
I'm about to read your precepts, brother Salaki. I'm gonna grab them off my phone.
The independent woman is screaming.
Yeah, screaming and shit.
But the Lord had it to where they didn't get her, so she could upload that.
Brother posted Ezekiel 20:21-9. Son of man, prophesy and say, "Thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter."
Right, because the Lord is getting ready to thin out the third of the 2/3. The herd of the 2/3, man.
The herd of the 2/3.
Right, and one of the things that I noticed is he's sharpening that sword to get rid of a lot of Esau's lower hanging fruit, man. Because when you look at a lot of these protests, it's the green-haired sissy lovers, alphabet people lovers and supporters that protest for the alphabet people that are pale and got 100 piercings on their face and 100 fucking tattoos.
It says,
it's gonna be beautiful because the Lord's gonna take both of them out, man.
"It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contempteth the rod of my son as every tree." Verse 11. "And he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened and is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer."
Yeah, who's the slayer? Esau Edom. Okay? Violence covereth him as a garment. Right? He was the wicked is the most high sword. Let me get that real quick and Psalm.
So now you're gonna have people in particular cities, basically they want to have to have a talk with their kids. I seen one video the other day where this ICE agent had chased this one chick home, and she made it home, and I guess it was like her dad or something came out the house, and he was like, "Get the fuck off my property." But they basically just hunting people, man. They hunting people. All right? And it's gonna get worse. Go ahead.
Psalm 17, and I'll start at 8. Keep me as the apple of thy eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppressed me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about, right? So that's really the mindset that we are supposed to be in, man. You know, asking the Lord to keep us safe from these devils, man. Okay, not just these devils, but from our own people. You know, our own people get you caught up in that shit. Okay? From the wicked that oppressed me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. And you got Jake out here wanting to protest, thinking that Esau Edom's just going to make a friendly society as long as you go out and protest, man. Okay? They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Because they're watching everything, man. Okay? They're watching everything, man. They're watching everybody's steps right now. Okay? Everybody has an electronic footprint. Now ICE is using, what are they using? They're using medical records, Medicaid records, tax records, using this program called AI now, where they can find out anything about you. And they're even allowed to, without a court order, turn on the location on your phone, man. Okay? And track your steps, you know? Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
That's what you see, man. The wicked being used. All right? And you're going to have different, you're going to have Jake. ICE was mainly, of course, made for Jakes, but you're going to have other people in there getting, blasted and getting done dirty too. But this is the will of Yahweh Shemi Shai, man. Understand that.
Yeah. From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. And that's what Esau Edom does, man. He's been doing it for generations. He understands reincarnation, man.
It gets Psalms, I'll read it real quick. Psalms 37 and 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. Okay? And you Israelites that's not taking heed to this word, you ain't fucking safe, man. You're not safe out here. All right? The Lord is going to use the Insurrection Act, fucking ICE, and the rest of these troops to eventually cast judgment on you, man. It's all going to be the judgment of the Lord. Okay? And if you don't have protection, if you ain't in the right spirit, you don't have the names of Yahweh Shemi Shai, you are fair game, man.
Right. And getting back into that verse in Psalm 17, where, leaving the substance to their babes, you look at a lot of these elites that run the world, a lot of their children are getting in power now. It's just one generation after another trying to perform their enterprise, which is create a new world order, man. You ain't going to upset the new world order, man. The only thing that is going to upset the new world order is the return of Yahweh Shai and them angels, man. That's the only thing that's going to disrupt it. Okay? Because it's all the Lord's will, man. Ain't no fucking free will. I see a lot of these Christians on doing live streams lately. I've been watching a couple of them talking about free will and all that nonsense, man. If there was free will, these devils would have been taken down. Right?
I spelled it wrong, but I'm trying to it was a video I wanted to play. There you go, right there.
Coach presents Leathers to Love.
Salakia for the law commercial brothers.
Shop leather styles to love at Coach.com.
To hear President Trump's team tell it, Minneapolis is on the brink of an all-out rebellion.
And this is This is the hot news right now. All right. This, along with World War III,
Greenland,
Greenland,
we're
Venezuela.
Building, he said we're building a golden dome.
It's hot right now, brothers. It's hot. It's hot right now. It's hot in these streets of Babylon the Great, man.
The term insurrection, you can use the term domestic terrorism.
The Insurrection Act is a tool at the president's disposal. With the deadly shooting of Renee Good by an ICE officer in broad daylight, sparking days of protest in the city and across the country. The Pentagon is lining up more than 1,500 troops, two defense officials tell NBC News, in case the president decides to invoke a 219-year-old law called the Insurrection Act. The law, signed by Thomas Jefferson, essentially allows the president to use troops on Americans to, quote, suppress an insurrection, domestic violence, unlawful combination, or conspiracy. It suspends the constitutional protections that prohibit the U.S. military from enforcing domestic laws. And it gives the president vast discretion to decide what is an insurrection.
The law is written in vague and archaic terms that don't provide clear boundaries for the president to invoke the law. That's why it's important to look at how the law has been interpreted and applied by the executive branch.
The president toying with the idea for years, like in his first term after the George Floyd protests launched a nationwide movement, or similar anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles, Portland, and Chicago over the last year.
If the governor can't do the job, we'll do the job.
I'd be allowed to use, if I wanted, the Insurrection Act.
So far, he's never.
And he wants that shit, man. He wants it.
See how he just speaks casual about it?
He wants that shit because Trump want to be a dictator, man. You know, he wants that shit. He wants the elite to give him that power to be a fucking dictator.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's his kingdom is way out of order, man, and they got to come down, okay, and show that great wrath.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, get real quick. 12 and 12.
That's part of the prophecy that we would have healed Babylon, but she would not be healed.
Yeah.
They're trying to heal Babylon, man.
Yeah.
Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
And that's why Trump want to put that pressure. He want to put that pressure. That Insurrection Act is pressure. All right, let's go.
We're committed, but saying on Tuesday, it's still very much on the table. Do you still think it's necessary?
I don't think it is yet. It might be at some point. It is actually very common. You know, with me, they'll make it like a big deal, but it's been used by over 40% of the presidents during their term.
He's right that many presidents have used it. About 30 times over the years, Abraham Lincoln did, to essentially launch the Civil War. Dwight D. Eisenhower famously used it to defend civil rights, sending troops to escort the Little Rock Nine. And John F. Kennedy invoked it to stop riots over the integration at the University of Mississippi. It's been more than 30 years since the last time when George H.W. Bush sent troops to Los Angeles. Riots breaking out over 6 days after a jury acquitted 4 police officers for the brutal beating of Rodney King. You can see a map here.
And they probably gonna have particular riots once, you know, particular people will get killed in America. They gonna riot, man.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney King out and killed 10 people in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's possible, man.
Imagine if a group
of possible.
Imagine if a group of them protesters go crazy and they just slaughter a whole crowd of people.
Yeah. Then what?
You know? Man, that would be beautiful if we think about it, man. That's what we're waiting for.
Because at the end of the day, if they'll riot over one person and multiple people get killed, they gonna go crazy, man.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna see it. I mean, when I was on TikTok earlier, you know, waiting to do this forum, that's all that there was this on. This and the fucking snowstorms, man.
Because they get nowadays you get the cell phone footage, man.
Mm-hmm.
That lady captured that video on her cell phone footage, uploaded to social media, and then these news stations get it off social media sites, man. They post it. You know?
This is
And on top of that, it's a fucking polar vortex outside. On top of everything.
Yeah, I got family down in Oklahoma. I mean, they're kind of distant family. I don't really talk to them like that, but it's below zero down there, man.
You brothers out there, man, you see what we got to deal with? That's the temperature right now, brothers.
That's normal here.
That's why, you know, we indoors right now. The other brothers are they indoors too, but they inside like a train station, you know? It says 8 degrees feels like -3. Okay?
Last night it was -20, man.
And in Buffalo, which is 30 minutes away, is 9 degrees, feels like -4. Okay? So, yeah, it's a damn, and you brother see what it says, winter storm warning, man.
Yeah,
it's cold as hell out there.
They had in some parts of the north, they were saying that there's footage coming out of these exploding trees, man. It's so cold that the sap in the trees is hardening up and creating pressure, and the trees are fucking exploding, man. You know, and it's not. I mean, us brothers up here, we're kind of, you know, yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's fucking cold, but we kind of used to it. But that shit is going on down south. They're getting below zero temperatures, man. Down in Oklahoma, like I was saying, they're getting below zero wind chill. They're not used to it. It's usually 50, 60 degrees this time of year.
Right.
You know, they don't have the infrastructure to support that. Everything shuts down. You know, they don't have plow trucks like we got. They don't got. They don't have power lines bolted down extra for the wind. Well, I mean, they may because there's a lot of tornadoes there, but you know, they don't have the salt trucks or the plows or none of that shit. They're not used to it.
Yeah, historic winter storm. Expected, right?
Over 150 million people are going to be under ice. Well, you know, not that ice, but you know, ice.
You guys don't know?
Yeah.
We continue to track this.
20.
I didn't want to do that. Go ahead.
Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. And yeah, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, man. That's why he's stirring everything up. I mean, people around the world, all they really do is talk about America these days, man. Not just here, you know. Here it is, this landmass has about, what, 350 million people? And there's billions of people on this earth, and it's always the main attraction is what's going on in America.
And these people around the world, they see what the hell is going on in Babylon the Great right now. You know, America has nothing to brag about. You don't have shit to brag about. This place is circling the drain. Okay, there's nothing to talk about here, man.
And all these deals that Trump's making, all these trillions of dollars of investment going into AI and everything, the common person ain't going to see that prosperity. This is the great melt-up. Okay? This is the great melt-up. Yeah, the GDP number might go up, the stock market might go up, but to the average man, they don't see a cent of that prosperity. If anything, it gets worse for them, man. The rich are becoming richer. You know? There's no benefit to the so-called nation as a whole, just to the top 1%. Verse 9, for lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. Verse 10, and this is the point that I wanted to bring out. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
Because right now, you still have a chance to repent. All right? The Lord still got us out there, man. So it's still time to repent. But if you don't, then the scriptures say you're going to die by the sword, man. And we just was looking at forms of the sword.
And ways that the Lord is trying to put fear into his people to repent, man.
Yeah. Because you ain't safe. You ain't safe out there with no covering. You're not safe.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm. That's why we don't get shaken up by this shit, man. Okay? It's just another day in this shit.
Yeah, because we understand that it's gonna get worse. It has before it gets better, it has to get worse. Right?
Yeah. I'm going to read this verse again. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. They're being led like sheep to the slaughter. And I heard over, what was it, Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl?
You're supposed to be wearing a dress.
Yeah, wearing a dress. And then they had that one band, Green Day, that's going to open up for them. And they're going to be making changing one of their top songs to be like an ICE protest, man. So here it is. Esau's using his magic on a large stage to take an Ephraimite.
Yep.
Right? An Ephraimite, probably the most famous Ephraimite in the whole fucking world, Bad Bunny, to go out there wearing a dress to support the alphabet people and protest ICE. So if you agree with the ICE protests, if you agree with the ICE protests, you're considered supporting fucking alphabet lover, man. You see how he uses his magic to create confusion?
And they said that ICE was gonna be at the Super Bowl because they know Bad Bunny is such a big act that it's gonna be a lot of Latinos there, man. You know, so don't be surprised if you see police arrests, all right, down there at the Super Bowl. Hell, all this shit could turn to turmoil, man. That's why we got to keep our heads on the swivel, man. Brothers got to stay awake.
And yeah, he's using a lot of that magic out there, and a lot of that what do they call it? Vibrational energy, sending certain vibrations out there, man. And the main form is targeting you, Jakes.
Yeah. So yeah, hey, the scriptures say the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same, man. So you brothers, make sure y'all stay in the spirit out there, all right? You got anything else?
Yeah, this is
bring it on.
Isaiah 10 and 20. I mean, we could start at 1. Yeah, we'll start at 1 and then we'll jump down because there's really 2 points. There's actually a bunch of points in this chapter, man. It's a heavy chapter. Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
And that's what you're going to see in these latter days, a bunch of unrighteous decrees, lawlessness in the streets, as we, showed you, brothers. All right. Pretty much you're going to be like they talking about, this one dude on TikTok was saying, what to do when you see a ICE, something about one of those ICE vehicles. Take a picture of the VIN number, report it. Man, fuck all of that, man. The Constitution is toilet paper. These motherfuckers can do what they want to do, man. All right? You ain't gonna report no ICE agent and they gonna fucking get their punishment.
I mean, they're gonna do the act and then you clean it up in the courts later. File a civil suit. Here's your 6 figures. Sorry you had to watch your uncle or your brother or your child get fucking beat to death or whatever it is the situation is.
Sooner or later, you gonna wake up to the fact that Esau Edom is the devil, man.
All right? That's how he handles things. Sorry for killing half your family. Here's a check for some FRNs.
Go ahead.
To turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory? Without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger.
There you go.
O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. So it's the Lord that took that man out. We don't know if he was a Jake or what. But verse 6 says, I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets.
And you're going to see more and more of that. You're going to see more people getting, it's going to go from one person to maybe 3 people to this person to that person until people are going to start protesting about ICE, man. Saying that they killing too many people. And Trump going to say they just doing their jobs.
Yeah,
which technically they are.
That one woman, he did say, oh, it's unfortunate they're going to make mistakes. You know, they're going to make mistakes. So that means they're basically just,
that's their way of clearing it up.
You know, like when they got the betting pools, you got 1 in 100,000 chance to win this amount, that amount, you know, or sports parlays, you got 1 in 1,000 chance of getting this ticket right. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. You know, if you get fucked with by ICE, you got 1 in this chance to, you know, not get absolutely decimated. That's basically the language he's putting out there. But jumping down, this is Isaiah 10 and 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped from the house of Jacob. How do you escape? Right? By coming in this truth, by hiding under the wings of the shadow of the Almighty, man. Mm-hmm. Okay? By going being in the secret chambers of the Most High. Mm-hmm. Shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power.
And that's what we focusing on. We focusing on the remnant to return to Yahweh Shem Shai, Lord willing. We're of that number, man. We pray that we're of that remnant.
That's pretty much it for that one.
Yeah, so we gotta stay in the spirit, all right? Sometimes the Lord does things in our lives to allow us to lock in and stay in the spirit, man. And teach us a lesson, all right? So with that, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth through the Holy Spirit. Peace and blessings and salutations to the elect. All right, Lord willing, you were edified. All right, and hopefully this damn temperature goes down next week.
Good luck.
Right, God. Shalom, brothers. Shalom.